Hi everyone, welcome to, I believe it's episode 8. Today we're talking about a baby boy named Marlon Santos. But before we get into that, if you have not seen last week's episode, I talked about Lorianne Bothman, which is just a puzzling case. There's not a lot of information that I was able to find, but she is still missing, and her behavior before she went missing was so strange. So if you haven't heard that episode, definitely go and listen to it. But today, like I said, we are talking about a baby boy. And this case is so sad because he was not reported missing for 2 days. A baby boy not reported missing for 2 days. Now, I can't even wrap my mind around that. I can't even come up with a justification for that. Like, it's a child. I mean, you should worry when they go missing as soon as they go missing. So it's very sad. And this case also doesn't have a lot of information about it. As far as I know, there's really not a conclusion about him, which just makes it even more heartbreaking. But I am going to tell you everything that I have learned today. It's not going to be a very long video because of the lack of information, but I just wanted to tell his story because he's very much important. And the thing is, he would be the same age as me if he was still around today. And we don't know if he's dead. We don't know if he was sold. We don't know. But if he's alive, he would be my age and he would be 23. He is, he's almost 2 months younger than me. And that's just, it feels weird to look at his baby pictures and know that we don't know what happened to him. So I'm sorry if I get choked up in this. Cases that involve children are just very hard for me to speak about. I'm already getting choked up, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Oh yeah, one last thing. My case suggestions form is in the description, so if there's a case you want to hear about, make sure to click that link and submit your case. So Marlon Devine Santos was born June 5th, 1998, and would be 23 today. He is Hispanic and classified as endangered missing, and was 5 months at the time of his disappearance. Marlon was placed in a foster home in the 100 block of Eastern Avenue in Worcester, Massachusetts in August 1998. His caregivers were Jose M. Castillo and Yolanda Castillo. His biological mother was homeless and frequently left him with others for days at a time. And Marlon, sadly, he was tested positive for drugs at birth. His biological father was seeking custody of him when he disappeared, and the baby boy was last seen at his foster home on November 5th, 1998. His foster parents did not report him missing for 2 days, and I think we're already side-eyeing the foster parents, because I just don't know how you lose track of a baby boy and not do something about that. So the delay cost the delay cost investigators the time that they needed, and the likelihood that he would come home was reduced. And eventually this was believed to be a homicide, but just the likelihood of it being solved went down 50% immediately because they did not report him missing for 2 days. So, quote, those first 48 hours are so critical, end quote, and that is from the Worcester District Attorney John J. Conti. And he goes on to say, the missing child was not reported to us until 2 days later. That left us with quite a gap. And I know it's only 2 days, but definitely with children, but I think mostly with a lot of people. The first 40 hours for any case is so critical because after 48 hours, the person that is gone is likely dead. And it's especially that way with a child. So it's just, I can't believe they just didn't report him missing. So, in the days after Marlon was reported missing, Worcester police put all their resources to work. And according to Worcester Police Detective Captain Edward J. McGinn Jr., the media spotlight stayed on baby Marlon's case for months. Um, and this is something that would normally generate calls from tipsters or witnesses, but nothing came, nothing at all. But with a 5-month-old victim, there are few connections to be made. And so the police they found themselves thinking out several scenarios. Um, some of them, a couple of them were perhaps the baby died in an accident, maybe he was sold, but nothing panned out, which is just crazy to think. So Yolanda claimed her husband was on a day trip in New York on the day that baby Marlon disappeared. She said she left Marlon and two other foster children, who were aged 2 and 3, in the house alone between 1 and 2 p.m. while she drove to East Middle School 8 miles away to pick up her two biological children. Um, let's just discuss that real quick. She left Marlon, a very young baby under the age of 1, with two other foster children who were 2 and 3, alone in her house for an hour while she drove 8 miles away to pick up her two children, her two biological children. Um, listen, this pisses me off. You are a baby, 2 and 3 years old. You can't watch an infant. What if something happens? What if the house catches on fire? What if there's a robber? And it's an 8-mile drive. That's not far at all, which maybe that was her thought process, like, it's not far at all, they'll be fine. But if that's the case, if they'll be fine, take them with you if it's only an 8-mile drive. Take the fucking kids with you. Maybe she doesn't care enough because they're not her biological children, which I'm not saying, she never said that, but I don't know, maybe she'd give a little bit more of a fuck when there's children under the age of 5 in the house. I'm sorry, I don't know how that makes any sense, and it just pisses me off, and it should piss you off as well. For an hour. An hour those children were alone. But yeah, like I said, if it's only 8 miles, then it's only 8 miles. Take the fucking kids with you. The hatred I have for this woman is just crazy. So, when she would return, Marlon was gone. And I have a lot of questions about this because why was just Marlon gone? Why weren't the other two kids gone? Like, if somebody came and kidnapped him, why not the other kids, you know? That's just kind of weird. She drove to New York to pick up Jose before she notified police of the baby's disappearance, so she would, rather pick up her husband than figure out what the hell happened to the baby that she is supposed to care for. But the last person besides Yolanda to see the baby was the Castillo's 17-year-old biological child, who saw him at noon on November 5th, but this person left the house before Marlon disappeared. Here's the thing. What was the 17-year-old doing that was so much more important? Like, obviously they're not at school, because this was at noon. Why couldn't they have stayed home and watched the children while you went an hour to pick up kids? Like, what did they have to do that was so important? I mean, 17-year-old is still young, but they're a lot more responsible than having a 3-year-old potentially watch a fucking baby and their 2-year-old sibling, Just weird choices all around, and that's being nice. I just can't wrap my mind around the fact either that she picked up her fucking husband before notifying police of the baby's disappearance. Ugh. Okay. But after Marlon was reported missing, the Castillo's other foster children were immediately removed from their home by the Massachusetts Department of Social Services. Thank fucking God. I hate DHS and CPS. I think they're shitty, and I think they fuck up their literal fucking jobs constantly, considering the amount of child abuse. But I think in this situation, they did the right thing and immediately pulled them. 6 weeks later, their biological children were also removed, though they were later returned to the home. I think their biological children should have stayed the fuck away, honestly, because they can't take care of a foster child. They obviously can't take care of their biological child. I'm being so fucking hypocritical. Not hypocritical, judgmental. Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna move on because I have a lot of nasty things to say about this family. So let's talk a little bit about the Castillos themselves. So they were both ministers in 1998 and had cared for 51 foster children since 1993. There have been multiple reports of neglect and abuse that were made against them prior to Marlon's disappearance, but none of the accounts were substantiated. Both Jose and Yolanda have refused to cooperate with the police in Marlon's disappearance. That right there raises so many red flags, and that says so much. So Jose has an extensive criminal record in his native Puerto Rico. In 1999, he was charged with sexually assaulting 3 female children, one of them his stepdaughter, and the other 2 his former foster children. Oh, he's fucking disgusting. A photograph of Jose is posted with the case summary. Authorities stated the sex abuse allegations came to light when they were investigating Marlon's disappearance. In 2000, Jose was convicted of assaulting one of his former foster daughters and was sentenced to a term of 5 to 7.5 years in prison. Yeah, I just sexually assaulted a child. Let me only get 5 fucking years. Fucking pedophile. In October 1999, oh, hold on. I just wanted to say before we continue on that was all I could actually find about the Castillos themselves, and most of it did revolve around Jose. But it did say that there was neglect in their home. But moving on, so in October of 1999, police received information that Marlon's remains were buried on the banks of the Wachusett Reservoir off Route 70 in Boylston, Massachusetts. They searched the area and found torn baby clothing, a diaper, and some pieces of plastic. They believe the baby's body may have been wrapped in the plastic. No indication of human remains was located, and laboratory analysis of the items located did not turn up any clues such as hair, blood, or other body fluids. Mr. Conti said he has always felt detectives were close to finding the child, but could never find the one piece of information they needed to lead to him. So there was never any remains found that actually pointed that it was him, but there is a good chance that it was from him. Authorities stated there were inconsistencies in the Castillo story. Although there are rumors that the child was sold in New York, police are investigating Marlon's disappearance as a possible homicide. His biological parents have both been ruled out as suspects in this case, and of course this case remains unsolved. This is so sad because there is no reason for a baby boy to go missing. There is no reason for a baby boy to be killed. There is no reason to not report a baby boy missing for 2 days. And I 100% believe that the foster parents did something. The way that they're not cooperating, the way that they have these accounts of abuse against them, I 100% believe that they did something to that baby boy. I cannot wrap my mind around it. Maybe Yolanda and Jose did something to him before Jose left or something. And because it was only 8 miles, I don't know why it would take an hour to go 8 miles, but I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe something happened to the baby and she took the baby and did something with his body and then went and picked up her children, because I can't see you leaving 2 young children in the house and only one going missing. But also I can't see that it takes an hour to go pick up your kids, especially when the school's only 8 miles away. I don't understand any of it. Maybe I'm just not good with time and the distance. To me, it just doesn't make sense. Either way, he should still be here, and there's no reason for his fucking disappearance. I'm sorry, I know I've been cursing a lot in this video. There's a, I have no sympathy for people that hurt children, and there is no question in my mind that something nefarious happened in this situation, and I hope that Marlon is found and he can be put to rest because I really don't know if he's alive. It would be much preferred, but if he's going through hell being alive, then maybe it's a good thing he's not. But that is the story of Marlon Santos. The links that I used for research will be down below. Thank you guys so much for listening to his story, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.